So our first chapter 9 test review with no graphing calculator that solve by factoring and fill in the information below. So this is a quadratic equation, okay? And you've got an x squared minus 36. Now this says specifically to solve by factoring. So factoring means what? Put parentheses back in it, right? Okay, so if I need to put parentheses back into this, I can either factor out a GCF or I can factor it into binomials, right? Okay, is there a GCF? There's not. So my choice is only to factor it into binomials. There are two ways you can think of this. The first way is you can think of it as the B term. Is there a B term? So what value is B? 0. So we can really think of it like this. Y equals x squared plus 0x minus 36, like that. And then if we're going to factor it into binomials, I'm looking, and this is a 1 in front on the A, as the A term, right? So if I'm looking to factor it, I'm looking for numbers that multiply to give me what? Negative 36. I want them to multiply to give me negative 36 and add to what?
0.
Add to 0. Okay, so let's think of that. This is my work. I just am doing this here. Go, Anthony. What are they? Negative 6 and positive 6 would be what I need. So what binomials will I end up with? What will that look like? This is correct. Negative 6 and positive 6. Go ahead. You're super close. Go.
Can I try again?
Yep.
Okay, so x minus 6, x plus 6.
There you go. X minus 6 and x plus 6. Does it matter the order?
No.
Nope. Okay, so there you go. We just factored it, but we didn't solve it, though. Okay, so this is the factored form. Now it's going to, here's your work. So what are the zeros or the solutions? Remember, zeros is also our solutions. What are our solutions? David?
6 and negative 6.
6 and negative 6, right? Because really this means x minus 6 has to equal 0 and x plus 6 has to equal 0, right? And if we solve that out, my zeros are x equals 6 and x equal negative 6, right? Okay, so right now, can I put that on my graph? Yeah. Now I know that it's going to cross at negative 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right here, right? And positive 6. I know that parabola is going to cross in those two spots. Is it going to open up or down? Up, because this is positive coefficient for A. Okay, so I know it's going to open up, but what I don't know is where my axis of symmetry and my vertex is. Now, this is the order on the test, but which one do you really need to find first, the axis of symmetry or the vertex?
Axis.
Okay, let's do the axis of symmetry next. So even though it's written in that order, you got to know, oh, I got to find this one first in order to find this one. All right, who remembers the formula for axis of symmetry? What's it going to be? Formula. Nope, Anthony, go.
Negative b over 2a.
Negative b over 2a. X equals negative b over 2a is my formula for the axis of symmetry. Okay, so this is why this is important to write this out, because what is my b value? 0. So it's negative 0, okay, over what?
Over
2 times 1, right? So I really have 0 over 2, which equals what? 0. So my axis of symmetry is where x equals 0. Where's that? The middle. This is my axis of symmetry right here. Right on the y-axis, technically. But this is x equals 0 line is the y-axis here. So I know, and you can kind of see that, can't you? Because these are an equivalent space apart, 6 and negative 6. All right. Now, how do I use this to get my vertex now? And I'm going to use a different color so that I can make sure we see the difference. What do I do now? How do I use this 0 value to get my vertex? Okay, Let me remind you real quick that the vertex is a full coordinate, x, comma, y, right? What's my x coordinate?
0.
0. I know half of it. What I don't know is the y coordinate. Joelle, how do I get it? You plug it into the original for x. Does it matter if you plug it into this one or this one? It doesn't matter, does it? Which one looks shorter?
X equals
This
y
one, doesn't
equals
it?
X.
Right? Okay, so let's plug it in. Y equals, instead of x squared, what do I write? 0 squared, because that's what I got for that x answer, right? Minus 36. What's 0 squared?
0.
Minus 36.
Negative 36.
Y is negative 36. So that's my other one, negative 36. So here's my vertex is negative 36. Or 0, negative 36. Oh no, my graph.
Not big enough.
Not big enough. What did I tell you should do?
Go
Go by something other than ones, right? You are allowed to do that if you do, like this one, I don't have to number because I'm going by ones, but this one now I'm going to have to number because I'm changing the scale. So I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 slots, and I got to get to 36. What should I go by? Speciosa. 6. There we go. Negative 6, negative 12, negative 18. Negative 24, negative 30, negative 36. So if I label it, and then I put this in right here at 0, comma, negative 36, then what do I have to do? Draw the parabola. What does a parabola look like? A V or a U? A U. It is not a V. A V is, if you make a V shape, that's absolute value. This is not absolute value. This is a quadratic. So this is going to make a soft U shape. All right. If you make a V shape, you're telling me it's something else, that it's an absolute value function. Okay. So be careful of that. So this is what your non-calculator section looks like. And by non-calculator, I mean no graphing calculator. How do we feel about that? If you study it, do you feel good? Okay. Should you maybe put this on a cheat sheet? Yes, I would. I'm telling you this is going to be on there, and there's 2 questions. All right? And so I want you to do. Is it okay to put this exact thing on your cheat sheet?
Yes.
100%. All right. Now pretend you have your graphing calculator back. Oh, yay. All right. So we have our graphing calculator back, but it specifically says solve using the quadratic formula. And it also says give me the discriminant, the number of zeros, and the solution. Okay. Oh, excuse me. So first things first, look at this quadratic formula here, or look at this quadratic function. What needs to happen before I even start? Carla. Yeah, this has to equal 0, okay? So one thing, this is backwards. We all recognize that, yeah? All right, let's subtract 6 by 6. Subtract it from here. 6 minus 6, is that 0? No, it is not. This is really 0 equals x squared minus 4x. Well, then what? Minus 12. Yep. Okay. So our A value is 1, our B is negative 4, and our C is negative 12. That's important. What is the formula for discriminant now? Cameron, go ahead. Oh, sorry. Yeah. B what? B to the second.
Minus 4AC.
Yes. The part underneath the square root is the discriminant. And that will, when we do that, it will tell you the number of zeros or the number of solutions. Okay. All right, let's go. So B squared, what do I put for B squared for this question? David, go ahead.
4 squared.
Positive or negative?
Negative 4 squared.
Okay, and if I use a negative 4 squared, what do I have to include? Parentheses. Negative 4 squared minus, now I need another set of parentheses. 4 times what? Times
Times
negative 12. Okay, let's go. All right, so negative 4 in parentheses squared is actually positive 16, right? Minus 4 times 1 is 4 times negative 12 is negative 48. 16 minus negative 48 really is adding is 64. So my discriminant is 64. That's the value of the discriminant. So if it is positive 64, how many solutions or how many times is it going to hit the x-axis? Put up your fingers if you know the answer to that question. Is it 0, 1, or 2? Ooh, not many of you know that. 2. Okay, here's the rule for your notes. Number of zeros, okay? If the discriminant is greater than 0, how many zeros are there? How many solutions? 2 solutions. 4 zeros, right? If the discriminant equals exactly 0, how many solutions? 1 solution. If the discriminant is in fact less than 0, no solutions. And that doesn't mean it doesn't make a parabola, right? It means that the parabola is above or below your x-axis and it opens up or down and never hits it. Okay? This is what we need to know. Okay, so how many solutions does this have? 2. There are 2 zeros, 2 solutions. So that guy is going to hit our x-axis twice. So this is my second answer. Now, work smart, not hard, okay? Because it now says use the quadratic formula, which we know is negative b, then what? Plus or minus square root
B squared
minus
minus 4ac
all over.
2a.
Okay, which part of this do we already know? We already know this whole bottom part, don't we? So in this case, if you've already figured out the discriminant, there is no need to do that again. So let's do this. So we do need negative b, all right? So in this case, negative b would be a negative 4, yeah? Now I'm going to put plus or minus. I don't have to do b squared minus 4ac anymore. Square root of 64 is what we figured out was underneath there. Yeah? Okay. All over 2 times 1. Okay. So now, what's negative 4? 4. What's the square root of 64? 8. So plus or minus 8 all over 2, right? All right, let's split it up into our 2 solutions. How do I get the first solution? What do I do to get the first one? They already went. Go. Somebody step it up. She already went too. Bring it. Come on. Volunteer. How do I get the first one? Already went. Already went. Okay. Give me a second, though. Let me finish the video, and I'll get it to you. Who knows how to get the first solution? Wow. Alondra. Yeah, we add. We do 4 plus 8 over 2. We do the plus. Remember, this is two parts here. So 4 plus 8 over 2 is going to give me 12 over 2, which equals what? 6. Yay. There's 1. X equals 6. How do I get the second solution? I'm sorry, I ran out of space here, so I'm going to put it over here. So 6 is 1. Wow, I wrote that really bad. Okay. How do I get the second solution? Anna, go. I do 4 minus 8 over 2. What's 4 minus 8? Negative 4 over 2. Okay, so my solutions are x equals 6 and x equals negative 2. Yay! All right, that's the first part of our review here.